the cuts, about box up times being cut, collection boxes are gone, pickup times are gone. Some of the small offices are closing, shortening their hours. So we've already endured a lot of cuts in service before they want to cut the service even more. That's one. The cost. We kind of had a breakdown of the cost. About $450,000 was work hours. So that's almost half this 1.1 million. That's like me taking money out of this pocket, putting it over here and calling it a savings. That's still the same company. We're not saving that money. It's just being shifted somewhere else. $200,000 was the lease in the downtown post office. That's part of this 1.1 million. Yet they're not making, they don't have any plans in place about what it's going to cost them to have a downtown presence. So that's kind of offsets that $200,000 unless someone wants to get in the building downtown. And the other number was almost $300,000 in maintenance, which I question and I'm going to have to look into. They've got numbers of how many employees are going to be impacted and savings. When we talked about implementing the actual procedure for AMP and how the mail is going to get up there, they have no idea. We talked about locally, we still break down Indiana flats, newspapers, and parcels in Bloomington, even though it used to go all the way up to Indianapolis to get sorted, because we weren't meeting the service standard. That's my contention. Single piece first class mail is a big chunk of change for this company, and they just keep cutting service. And they're taking it for granted because what are they going to do? What if they move the collection box times to noon? What are they going to do? They're going to do it anyway because they've got the monopoly on it. So we're not up here about jobs. We know the company's suffering, and if it was really, truly a need, and I had to go somewhere else to keep my job, I'd do it. But it's all hypocrisy and smoke and mirrors. Because we see waste every night. You guys, it's transparent to you guys, but we see every night in the plant. Mr. Mayor's example about the tape measure, about the 94%, we see that every night. The lady that got to talk about her flats coming every day in Unionville or Nashville, that's real. They come up with all the bean counting in the world that tell you how maybe we're not efficient, but we do it every night. The postmark, who's going to want to stand in line and get a Bloomington postmark? We don't know what the lines are. We cut window staffing so bad it's ridiculous. They've been after Bloomington since I came here in 2001. I've been here 8 years. I transferred here from Phoenix, Arizona. I've worked in a big plant. The big plants are much less productive than the small ones. Don't let them fool you. I almost didn't come here because they were talking about taking it in. They did a study in 05. It lasted until 07. They said that after an exhaustive review, we found no cost savings. Now, 2 years later, here we are again. I think it's someone's feather in their cap to nail Bloomington and make it AMP. I really do. They talk about trying to expand capacity in India. That's what this is about. They're trying to keep themselves employed at the expense of your service, and that's all I got.